This is what happens when it all falls apart for the narcissist. Hey there, lovely souls. Welcome back to our channel. It's wonderful to have you here with us today. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic. When everything falls apart for the narcissist. It's a subject that sheds light on the intricate dynamics of narcissistic behavior and its consequences. If you're intrigued by what you're about to hear, don't forget to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing it with your friends who might benefit from this discussion. So, let's delve into the complexities of narcissism and explore what happens when things unravel for the narcissist. Let's get started. When you were in that toxic relationship with the narcissist, you probably noticed some really strange and off-putting behavior. They did things that didn't make sense to you, said things you'd never heard before, and put you in situations you never imagined you'd be in. These were just glimpses, cracks in the facade, showing that the narcissist couldn't control themselves or regulate their emotions because they rely on others to fulfill their needs. They need people around them to manipulate or abuse so they can get what they want. Back then, when you were still in a relationship, you probably didn't even know what narcissism was. You didn't understand terms like rage fits, triangulation, gaslighting, or smear campaigns. You had no idea what radical acceptance meant, which is crucial for healing after leaving a narcissistic relationship. But now, learning about these terms and their meanings is vital for your healing journey and breaking free from the toxic relationship. All the emotional baggage you carry from that relationship, that was the narcissist's burden, not yours. Eventually, things tend to fall apart for narcissists, especially as they get older, although it can happen at any time. For instance, let's say the relationship with the narcissist ended, whether you were discarded or had to leave on your own. Either way, it was tough. If you were discarded, it's incredibly challenging. And if you had to leave, you probably had to plan your escape carefully. The weight of the relationship was all on your shoulders because the narcissist wasn't doing anything to contribute positively. They just watched as your life fell apart, while they continued to abuse and manipulate you in every possible way, financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally. All those toxic behaviors you went through, they all came from one person, the narcissist. And let me tell you, narcissists are experts at manipulation. They know exactly what they're doing. So if anyone ever wonders if they're aware of their actions, trust me, they are. They're just like us. They wake up, they breathe, and they make choices every day. But most of the time they choose whatever benefits them, even if it means acting good for the spotlight, like donating to charity just to show off on social media. Now, after you got out of that relationship, the narcissist probably moved on to someone new. They thought the grass would be greener on the other side, that this new person could give them everything they wanted. Or maybe they just got bored with you. But here's the kicker. Often, the new supply they find turns out to be another narcissist or a toxic person. Rarely are they empathetic. They're usually either recycled supply or people caught up in the narcissist's web, believing in their fake persona. We now understand that narcissists often wear masks. They want to deceive unsuspecting, trusting folks into falling for their facade and devoting all their attention to them, even if it means sacrificing their own well-being. That's what happens. You become an extension of the narcissist, losing your identity in the process. You're constantly apologizing, being a listening ear, doing whatever the narcissist needs. But you never get to be yourself. That realization often only hits after the relationship ends, after you've healed, and you've reached a point where you couldn't care less about the narcissist or anyone from that toxic time in your life. Let me tell you, things are going to change for the narcissist. Their world won't be as put together as it was when they were with you. Throughout most of their relationships, things are going to crumble for them. And let me be clear, it's not a pretty sight when it happens. The narcissist often can't believe that their bad choices, including leaving you, will come back to bite them. See, narcissists go through life collecting hearts, relationships, and shattered dreams without thinking anyone will ever catch on. But not you. You've seen through their facade, you know what narcissism is all about. And now you've either healed or you're well on your way to moving past it. But when things start falling apart for the narcissist, they'll be in shock. Maybe they didn't get that big promotion or the raise they were hoping for. Maybe they didn't inherit money like they thought they would because their sibling outsmarted them. Or perhaps their looks are fading, and no amount of makeup or plastic surgery can turn back the clock. You know, sometimes those surgeries don't end up how they planned. Narcissists are always running from themselves, from people, from reality. That's why every narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. And eventually, even the narcissist will realize that things are falling apart for them. As time goes on, more and more people are waking up to their behavior and refusing to put up with it. People are starting to understand their own value and worth, and they're not tolerating toxic behavior anymore. The word is getting out, and change is happening. Let's focus on this part of the video for a moment. If you're an empath, chances are you've always had a deep sense of empathy, even if you didn't fully understand it. Personally, I've known I was an empath since I was a kid. I just assumed everyone felt the same way I did, but it turns out most people don't have empathy to the extent that empaths do. When a narcissist encounters an empath, they can sense that empathy right away. They're looking to see if you're someone who always says yes, who can be pushed around, who lacks boundaries, and who will buy into their facade. They want to know if they can manipulate you and discard you when they're done with you. Narcissists always want to be in control of their relationships. That's why if a narcissist tries to come back into your life, whether it's through hoovering, sending a simple hi, or digging something at your door, they're trying to regain that control. They might be desperate to rope you back in, or just disrupt your healing process, or maybe both. The point is, they have a sixth sense for these things. They know when people are catching on to their games, and that's when they often seek out new sources of supply. But sometimes things don't go as planned for them. Maybe the new supply has boundaries or senses, but something isn't right and backs off. Suddenly, the narcissist is left high and dry, scrambling to find someone else to feed their ego. It might take them longer than usual, and they might resort to sneaky tactics like creating fake social media accounts to keep tabs on old sources of supply or lure in new ones. But things start to crumble for the narcissist as they age. Their health takes a hit, just like anyone else's might as they get older. They might notice their looks fading, and it's hard for them to accept that they don't look like they did when they were 20. So what do? Some dye their hair or try to dress like younger people. Now, I know other folks do this too, but we're talking about the toxic narcissists here. They need validation from everything: clothes, coworkers, friends, exes, family, you name it. For narcissists, even their relationships with their kids can sour as they grow up. If the kids didn't turn out to be narcissists themselves, they probably gave their parents plenty of chances to change. But eventually, they might reach their breaking point and cut off contact. They might move away to escape the toxicity. And then the narcissist parent tries to guilt-trip them into seeing them, saying things like, "I gave you life." But the adult child knows better. They've done their part, and they won't be manipulated anymore. It's not about wishing bad things on anyone's life. We've all been through the ringer after leaving a narcissistic relationship. It's tough. You might have felt completely alone, like your whole support system vanished. You might have even felt trapped. And healing from all that isn't quick or easy. It takes time, lots of it. But if you stick with it and use the resources available to you, you'll get there in your own time. Listen, where you're at right now isn't where you'll be in a few months or 6 months, or even a year from now. Keep pushing forward every single day. And you know what? Things will start to unravel for the narcissist if they haven't already. Now, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm not here to wish harm on anyone, and neither should you. Once you've gained wisdom, apply the tools and gone no contact, blocking, deleting, cutting off all ties with their allies and anyone connected to them. You'll reclaim your energy. And as for the narcissist, well, their house of cards will eventually collapse. It's just how it goes with them. They always think they're one step ahead, that they're untouchable, that they can charm anyone into doing their bidding. But reality has a funny way of catching up with them, more often than not. Let's talk about divorcing a narcissist. Oftentimes, they won't even cooperate during the divorce process. Why? Well, there are a couple of reasons among many others. First off, they want to drag it out as long as possible just to frustrate you. Secondly, they genuinely believe they're above the law, that they're untouchable, and that they can do whatever they want without facing consequences. This mindset likely developed when they were younger because they never faced any consequences for their actions. The rules simply didn't apply to them, and this belief was probably reinforced by their parents or caregivers. And so, the cycle continues. But here's the thing, you need to break free from these toxic relationships. Your time, your energy, everything about you is incredibly valuable. You may have given a piece of yourself to that narcissistic relationship for a while, but eventually it ended. Because let's face it, every narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. But here you are, you've found your way out of that mess. You've healed, you've picked up the pieces, and you're moving forward. You're learning, growing, and maybe even teaching others about your experiences. You're becoming more aware and enlightened. Perhaps you're taking classes, reading, writing, traveling, or even falling in love again. You've rebuilt your life from the ground up, and you're doing everything you can to thrive. Keep pushing forward. So, what's the narcissist up to now? They're just eyeing their next target, someone who doesn't know about narcissism, who'll fall for their act. As they get older, that mask they wear gets looser and looser because they can't keep up the charade like they used to. That's why I made a whole series about it called The Aging Narcissist. Check it out sometime. These folks are as entitled as they come. They think the world owes them everything, even their own family and past partners should come running back to them. They're stuck in the past, reminiscing about the days when they could manipulate anyone they pleased with a snap of their fingers. But those days are long gone. When things fall apart for the narcissist, it's like a blow to their ego. They just can't understand why life isn't going according to their plan. But hey, life throws curveballs at all of us. You've probably experienced it firsthand in your relationship with a narcissist. But here's the difference. You've done some self-reflection, taken responsibility, and realized you were being manipulated. Now you've set boundaries. The narcissist, on the other hand, doesn't have those skills. They just go back to their old tricks, trying to manipulate anyone they can, even if they haven't spoken to them in years. They love recycling people for their own gain. And it's not just romantic relationships they seek supply from. It could be anything, even the smallest interaction. The narcissist's thirst for attention knows no bounds. Here's the deal. You need to realize that you're not just some commodity to be used and tossed aside. You're not a cleaning product like Clorox or Windex, which is how the narcissist treated you during your relationship. But that's not who you are, and it never was. You're a radiant, valuable individual, just like I've always seen you and myself. We're not the scarce resource the narcissist wanted to snuff out. They tried, but they couldn't break us. And they never will, because now we're healing, recognizing our true worth. Before we conclude, let's take a moment to talk about social media. Do you remember how the narcissist would constantly post those perfect pictures, selfies, and boast about their seemingly amazing life? Well, it's all an illusion. They're trying to draw people in with this facade of greatness. But the reality is often far from it. Behind the scenes, they're leading a shallow, empty existence, manipulating those around them with their charm and deceitful tactics. That's why things always unravel for the narcissist eventually. When the facade crumbles, it affects every aspect of their life. And let me clarify, this video isn't about wishing harm on them. It's about understanding the truth of what we're dealing with. Plus, you'll come to realize that the narcissist often tries to reel you back in, especially to see if you're still vulnerable. If they sense you're still hurting, they see it as an opportunity to manipulate you again. However, if they see you've healed, they'll likely move on, as they have no use for someone who's no longer under their control. So the more you heal, the brighter your future becomes. As always, remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment below with any questions or concerns. I'll be sure to respond. Have a blessed day and an incredible week ahead. Until the next video, take care. Bye-bye. And don't forget to check out the free book, and consider a one-on-one consultation linked in the description below. Your support means the world to us.